Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of MGR Unplugged. David, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
How was your 4th of July weekend?
Very
Very
uneventful.
Uneventful.
Didn't do much.
Anything special or nothing?
Nah.
No? Yeah, it was.
I'm not a big 4th of July guy, but
What do you mean by that?
I don't really I'm not a big 4th of July party guy.
Oh,
A
yeah,
lot
as
of
far
people
as the
party
party.
on 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, this year was kind of strange. It was on a Saturday, so a few people took off on Wednesday, but then the 4th of July was Saturday. So, anyways, all right. So for today's episode, we have, as you can see there, we're gonna be talking TikTok and a few tech news as well. So, few things that are going on this week with TikTok and some side news regarding Walmart on the e-commerce space, and then we have also a new section of our podcast that we call it Rant of the Week, which David is going to pioneer this week.
I can rant. Yeah, we don't need to have rant of the
I
week.
know,
I could do
but
rant of the day if you want
he's
me to.
ranting with me all the time, so I told him, why don't you just get a segment? I said Rant of the Week, and we'll do that at the very end of the podcast. So let's just get started.
None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down. Hand over my crown. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
All right, welcome back. David, so the first topic today is TikTok. I'm not very familiar with the app, to be honest. I mean, I have my account. I posted like 3 or 4 goofy videos of some racing stuff. Some people like it. Some people follow me. I have no idea who they are or how it works. But anyways, the main point is that India, the country of India, banned apparently about 50-something apps, Chinese apps, as part of their ongoing conflict between the two countries. And one of them being actually TikTok, which I didn't know these numbers, but TikTok has like 1 billion users now, approximately.
Yeah.
But 200 million of those were in India.
Yeah.
So right like this, right overnight, with the government of India banning TikTok, TikTok lost 1/5 of their daily users.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. But the main thing for me is, first of all, why did India resorted to that? They said it was a matter of national security stuff, and then we've also heard that in the U.S. we may follow through. So let's start with the fact that India banned TikTok. How is that going to affect TikTok or the future of TikTok as far?
Pretty severely, I think, because obviously India is the fastest growing market for tech companies right now. It's India and China, but obviously TikTok is a Chinese company, so they want growth outside of China. It's called ByteDance in China, and it's already massive in China, so they're looking for international growth. And India is one of those places. So now India, with their 1 billion+ people being totally locked off, is a big deal, obviously.
But let me ask you something, because I know very clear. I know you said TikTok is originated in China, but there's another app that is in China. The American version or the world version of TikTok is not so much based in China, because I know we have a CEO. They have a CEO now that is the former.
Yeah. So I mean, TikTok. Okay. So there's a company called ByteDance.
Right.
That's the parent company.
Right. And that one was Chinese.
That is a Chinese company based in China, and it's the app in China is called ByteDance. But they wanted to expand globally, so a few years ago they bought a company called Musical.ly, which was basically if you don't know what Musical.ly is, just look it up. It's it was like an app where you could sing along to songs and
Right.
do voiceovers and stuff. And then basically they bought Musical.ly, and then they added a lot to it. They obviously added a ton of features into basically what TikTok is today. And so TikTok is the global version of ByteDance in China, basically. And the headquarters for TikTok, I believe, they have 2, basically. They have the Chinese headquarters, and they have the one in LA, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it's a Chinese company, though. Like, don't get it wrong. It
Right.
is a Chinese company.
It's almost like a
100%.
Chinese company with U.S. or worldwide subsidiary or
Right, lots of companies do this. I
Right.
mean, lots of companies basically will have one brand in one country, another brand in another country, but it's the same company, same product. It's just a different name, basically, in another country. So yeah, now will TikTok be banned in the U.S.? I don't know. I mean, is it a national security concern? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is I was going to get to this because according to the Chinese officials, they said that TikTok and others, referring to the other apps that were banned, and some of them, I don't even recognize the names, but I guess they were bigger in India. But when the Indian government banned all those 50 plus apps overnight, I mean, they just banned them, gone. They said that represented a threat to citizens' privacy and national security. And then they received complaints that the apps were stealing and transmitting users' data, which obviously, what else is new? We all know that. So, but now we also know that the U.S. is thinking about the same thing. I'm not sure about how many apps, but definitely TikTok is on the radar. So, we've had some issues with national security with Huawei before, and now it's TikTok. Also.
Right. Last week, they did ban Huawei and ZTE, which are two Chinese telecom companies, from being able to build government infrastructure for 5G in the United States. Basically, the U.S. government had funding for different companies to build 5G infrastructure in the U.S. And they said that Huawei and ZTE, they did deem them as official national security risks and said that they will not be building infrastructure in the United States.
And to that end, the European Union is also, or different countries from the European Union are doing the same thing. They're basically saying that they don't
they're
want Huawei
changing their tune now because before they weren't. Like the UK was letting Huawei just build whatever they wanted to, and it looks like they're changing that now.
Right.
I think it's probably because if the US did it, maybe the other ones have the courage to do it now. I don't know, but I certainly would not invite Chinese companies to build out the communication infrastructure of my country, especially going into the future as not that China is necessarily an enemy, but I certainly wouldn't call them an ally.
Well, it's definitely not an ally, and I would say more is economic type enemy.
I think
as
it's
far
more
as
than economic. I think
Yeah.
it's an economic, but
ideology-wise too.
it's an ideological threat, basically.
But the main thing is obviously TikTok is fairly popular. I don't know how many users do we have in the US for TikTok.
A lot. I don't know the exact number, but the usage of TikTok now in the United States, as far as time spent on the app, has surpassed Instagram this month.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I as little as I know about TikTok, is very addictive. I mean,
Yes.
you can just go there, and they serve obviously these little short videos. They're like seconds, with people doing most of the time goofy stuff, But you're just scrolling, and then, I mean, you can spend a lot of time, and you are not disciplined as far as getting out of it. Just watching stuff. Even if you don't have an account, I mean, you can just basically, or you don't post anything, you can just basically watch other people's stuff, and then they, based on your selection or your topics or whatever, they show you videos that are based on the people or the types of things that they think that you like. So it's definitely very addictive. I don't know how many users we have in the US either. We can obviously look it up, but I know they have 1 billion users worldwide, and they're growing very fast. Obviously, 200,000, 200
Yeah, I mean,
million
they're
of
the
those are.
fastest app to ever hit 1 billion users. Ever. Like, it's not even close. I don't know if you've seen the chart that shows like time
Yeah,
it
I
took to
think we
get to
saw
1
it.
billion.
Yeah.
It was like literally, I think it took them less than a year to get 1 billion users.
Yeah, so obviously now they lost 200 million right away. And then if in the US we do the same thing, I mean, I just don't know how much. Does TikTok have advertising as well?
Yeah, of course.
They do. That's a revenue source, right? They do have ads, and I haven't seen it, but I don't remember if I focus on those or not. But the bottom line is that the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said that he was seriously considering that. I don't know what the latest is. I haven't seen more. Since
Yesterday, they said it could happen by the end of the week. We're recording this on a Thursday, so who knows? By the time this goes up on Friday, it could have happened already.
It's funny because he made a quote, and he says, he actually said, and this is the quote, you should only download TikTok, and the quote is, if you want your private information in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, he's basically making it very clear that your information will be shared.
Yeah, the problem with TikTok is that, because the argument is, well, every company takes your data, so who cares? That's what I've seen. Yeah, of course, it is true. But there's two things. One, not every company is basically part owned by the Chinese Communist Party. And two, TikTok was taking a lot of data, much more than most companies do. For example, they were found to have a key logger. So basically, if you have TikTok downloaded on your phone, they are tracking everything you type, not just in the TikTok app, but on your phone in general. So if you send a text message to someone, they have a keylogger, so they can see exactly what you said in your text message, and they're doing that. So basically, things like that, way more intrusive than Facebook is very intrusive. Facebook doesn't keylog your phone to see what everything. Oh, and by the way, you know who else was caught doing that this week that is in a PR crisis? LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on mobile only or the?
Mobile. Yeah, I think it was mobile.
Okay.
Yeah. LinkedIn, if you have LinkedIn on your phone, they had a keylogger, so they were tracking everything you type on your phone. Someone was showing an example where they were typing in the Notes app, and basically LinkedIn was tracking it, basically.
When you are logged in or without being even logged in?
If you have the app on your phone.
I have the app. I never use it.
It doesn't matter. You still have the app on your phone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But if I'm not logged in, they don't know it's me. I mean, it's just
I
not...
assume you're logged in if you have the app on your phone, unless you manually signed out of the app. And I don't even know, even if you're signed out, if that changes things.
I'll check it out, but that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Chinese apps in general is that there's a law, and I don't know the law exactly. I read it before, but basically the Chinese government is saying that any Chinese company is obligated to work towards the with the government, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no.
That anything
TikTok
that
has Chinese people, Chinese Communist Party people in their offices.
In their offices, right?
They literally have like the company side, the government side in the same floor, in the same building. So it's not like a secret or anything. Like they're in the headquarters, embedded with them.
Right. And during normal times, it's fine, all that stuff, and the app is working normally. But because of this law, if something were like, if there was a major conflict between China and any other country, then those companies are obligated to supply all the information they can and gather to the government.
Right, and another things too is like they've already been caught with censorship. So you can't post anything about Tiananmen Square on TikTok. They just get rid of it. When the Hong Kong protests were happening, you couldn't find anything about it on TikTok. They were just removing all of that. So they already are mass censoring in favor of the CCP's agenda, basically.
Right, but the other thing is that not only that's on the censorship side, but on the information side, let's say TikTok is gathering all information on the users' data, facial recognition, all that stuff, that they are one order away or one request away or subpoena away or whatever from having to supply all that information to the Chinese government for whatever reason. And that's basically private information from citizens around the world that are not aware of that. So that's the critical part, and that's why the different governments are not looking into these apps and saying we may have to ban those apps, which comes up with the other issue is like, okay, so normally we've seen the fact that, for example, when Facebook came up, and it started being successful, a lot of countries around the world created their own Facebook, specifically the countries with censorship like Russia, China, and so forth. So they created their own version of Facebook because they didn't want their citizens to get to the Western version of Facebook. So now it's almost the opposite. Now we have and of course it wasn't successful because by the time these countries created their own Facebook, they realized that it was the real Facebook was very advanced and very progressed, and then people in the countries wanted to get the real Facebook that is uncensored and all that stuff. So, but now is the opposite. Now we have basically in the US or in any other non-communist country who are banning Chinese apps and saying, can we build something similar on our own, And in fact, there's a couple of investors, that Naval and I forgot who his partner was, Naval Ravikant, that basically already put a tweet and saying, if any company or startup is developing an app that is similar to TikTok or any of the apps that basically the Chinese government has banned and that were being used in the US, they're basically willing to invest and develop it. Obviously, when you develop that, you say, okay, well, we have the U.S. audience, which is obviously massive, but not globally massive, and then we hope that maybe that audience will expand to the rest of the world. Basically, countries around the world will eventually drop or ban TikTok, which makes people not able to use it, and then they will adopt whichever is the copycat, of TikTok, made by a Western country. Do you think that will be something that will happen? That it has a future? Like obviously Facebook, they want to
if
create.
If TikTok gets banned, there will 100% be many TikTok clones. Who will win? I don't know. But yes, if TikTok gets banned, the problem with TikTok is not the app itself, right? The app itself is obviously incredibly successful. The features they've made, the innovations they've made. Yeah, I'll give the credit to TikTok in the sense that they were able to create major innovation in social media when a lot of people said that it was done, that there was no more innovation to be had. Now, I disagree with that, but a lot of people were saying that, and they were able to do it. Now, the problem is, obviously, it's just owned by a country that is malignant, basically, that is an evil country, basically. And now, my problem is, I don't know what the precedent is for this. We've never done this before. Like the U.S. has never outright, at least at this scale, there's been smaller apps that have been banned before, but there's never been an app like this that has just been that has been massive and then been banned like this. And I don't know what precedent that sets for the future.
Well, but that was the thing with an American CEO for
that
TikTok.
means nothing.
Well, it has to mean something.
It means nothing. They hired an American CEO for PR reasons. And if someone wants to corrupt themselves for money, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that it's worth anything.
If the option is saying,
I look at it no different than like back in Cold War days when you had double agents who were pretending to be Americans but really were Russian spies.
Well, but my point is,
you watch the show Americans. There you go. That's exactly what he is.
The Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that your favorite show or one of your favorite
shows? A
shows?
while ago, yeah. I used to watch it on Netflix or something. I never watched it when it was like, I think it was on a USA program or something.
I look at the same way. Okay.
But that was the Cold War.
He's a Chinese spy pretending to be an American CEO. That's all he is.
But it was Russian.
Yeah, I know. Now it's Chinese.
Okay. No, but the thing with TikTok, I mean, if it comes to a point where the US says either we have a firewall or we kind of protect our information, or we have a clear account of what kind of personal identified information or whatever personal data is stored or not stored or transmitted or whatever, or we just will ban it outright, which is what India did. I would imagine that TikTok, the American CEO, will say, okay, we're going to put this kind of filtering, so for at least for U.S. citizens or for U.S. accounts, we're going to store the data locally, or we're not going to have that data going to China's headquarters or something. I mean, there has to be some kind of middle ground. So, I mean, if they lose India with this, which is a fifth of the users, and then if they lose the U.S., which is probably the other majority of active users.
Yeah.
What else is TikTok for?
But the difference is the US is the most valuable user.
Well, exactly. And for advertisers too. So if they lose that, then TikTok disappears as far as being relevant. So if it's that kind of that dilemma for TikTok, I would imagine they will say, okay, well, we want to have a little more transparency on the data that we collect, how we collect it, who is in control of the data, allowing people that use TikTok to know exactly what information is collected, how, when, where. And then not only that, for all at least US accounts, we're not going to have that data forwarded to the Chinese headquarters. It'll be somewhere in the US. I mean, that's my ideological.
I think that's very idealistic.
Well, what is the data for Facebook and all that stuff kept? I mean, we basically keep it here.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing that other companies don't take data. They obviously do. But the idea that, we promise we won't give it to the Chinese government. Okay.
Well, I mean, the U.S. can promise that. The problem with the Chinese government is that, as we said before, the company itself is obligated by law to provide that data in case of conflict to the government. So that's a given. I mean, there's nothing, it's a matter of national security for them. So they can say, okay, well, yeah, we're now at war with the U.S., so this is the 300 million people that we know, facial recognition, we know everything they do, blah, 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 blah. So they have all that data. But if that data doesn't go to China and stays in the US, then okay,
Yeah, but how are you going to guarantee that?
well, I'm sure there's got to be a way to. I mean, I don't know the technicalities, but I
Because at the end of the day, it's a Chinese company with headquarters in China with CCP officials in their headquarters in the same building. How are you going to make sure that that doesn't happen?
well, it is, as we said, it's a Chinese company with American subsidiary or Western subsidiary, so they can somehow guarantee that certain information has this kind of firewall, so it doesn't go beyond there. And it's all hypothetical, but like I said, if it's the option of either you do it or we cut it off, that's it. I mean, the military already is doing that.
I think they're going to ban it.
The military, yeah, they could,
I
and
think
they
they're
may.
going to do it.
The military is already doing that. I mean, they don't allow any military personnel to put anything information on these social media apps because they don't want them to be exposed. And obviously, the private citizens are on their own, you know. But if it comes to that thing, I mean, if the Secretary of State has to jump in and say, we're going to ban this thing because it's so insecure that citizens don't even know what information they're giving away. And we as a country need to protect our citizens, and we're doing it. That's a pretty critical point. And then at that point, TikTok just basically disappears. I mean, it'll just gone. So anyways, on a side note, the beneficiary of all this conflict is actually Snap.
Well, we'll see.
A little bit.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna. Okay, if TikTok gets banned, what happens? Okay, well, obviously, you're gonna have. There already are TikTok clones out there. So, and I'm
but
sure.
as far as major companies, the one that was kind of close to what TikTok used to do was Snapchat.
Not really. I mean, that's the thing. People say, like, I saw, Snap stock went up and all that, but I mean, Snap would have to totally rework the app to make it like TikTok, because it's nothing like TikTok right now.
Right.
So, maybe they could. But I don't even know if they want to. I mean, I don't know what Snapchat's goals are.
Well, but it's a matter of people. The demographic of TikTok is obviously closer to the demographic of Snapchat than is to the demographic of Facebook or even Instagram. So
Sure, but
the current TikTok user that is used to spending hours on the phone using the app.
I'm not disagreeing.
If
but
they're moving somewhere else, they'll probably go to Snap and could basically get
right,
back
but
to.
Snapchat would have to totally rework the entire app.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to copy TikTok. They're just going to benefit from additional eyeballs at that point because the people that were using
Maybe for the short term. There's going to be someone who makes a TikTok clone, basically. It's going to happen.
Well, that's what we're talking
There's
about.
absolutely no way that does not happen. So who will win? I don't know. People say Facebook. I don't think it's going to be Facebook.
Oh, I
because
hope
young
not.
people don't like Facebook.
Right.
So if you have a TikTok alternative that's run by Facebook, people are not going to use
No,
it.
no. I mean, Facebook is already. I mean, they're already talking about splitting Facebook into, all the acquisitions they made, like
I don't
Instagram.
think that's gonna happen
and
either.
I know, but that's one of the
But
conversations saying.
the new TikTok will not be Facebook. It's either going to be a new company that no one's ever heard of, or maybe Snap. Maybe. But I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know if Snapchat even wants to do that, because I don't know if it's a part of their vision. Snapchat has their own roadmaps built out years in advance. So they would just have to basically scrap everything and saying, all right, we're going all in on making a TikTok clone. But then their app is different. Like, I'll give you one very key difference between Snapchat and almost every other app. What I don't know if you use Snapchat, but when you open Snapchat, okay, when you open Instagram, what is the first thing that pops up when you open it? Like, what does it open to?
To my timeline, basically,
Your
or the feed,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. TikTok, same thing. It just opens up to the what's called the For You page, basically, the algorithm. You know what Snapchat opens to?
No idea.
The camera.
Really?
Yes. Why? Because Snapchat wants you to default to creating, not to consuming. It's a very big difference. And then what's the thing that most people use Snapchat for?
Little short videos that disappear after
But whose videos are those?
their own videos, their selfies or whatever.
Okay, but what are they doing? If you take a video of yourself, what do you normally do with that on Snapchat?
I have no idea. You just share it with your friends.
Basically, it's a Snapchat, so it's more of a
Oh.
chat app with stories. But stories these days on Snapchat are pretty are a shell of what they used to be, basically. Stories for following people that you don't know, with celebrities, whoever you want to follow. Everybody uses Instagram for that. People don't really use Snapchat. I mean, people still do, but it's just not. Instagram stories is way
I thought
bigger
the main
now.
feature for Snapchat is the fact that you can send something and then obviously people get the screenshots and stuff like that, but it disappears after 24 hours.
That's the stories. It's pictures, videos, anything disappears instantly. As soon as the person
As
opens
the person
it,
opens the thing, it disappears.
yeah.
Right.
But it's not even about the privacy, because nobody on Snapchat is confused about, oh, can someone still get this? That's not the point. It's just not every conversation needs to be documented. If you and I are just
No,
chatting,
I understand.
I don't need a log of that. Like in text messages, any conversation you ever have, you have a whole history there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so unless you manually delete it, you can still see it. With Snapchat, it's like ethereal conversation, basically. But my
Right.
point is, Snapchat is very based around creating and conversation, not consumption of content of people that you don't know. Because TikTok is not about friends. TikTok is about consuming content of people you don't know. And so Snapchat would have to really rework the app. Now, how I would do it if I were them, Snapchat has their chat section, the camera, and then to the right side is when you swipe right, or when you go to the right, you swipe left, but it goes to your right. When you go to the right, they have stories, and then they have all this garbage that's like, it's almost like tabloids. Almost, it's really bad content. They call it Snap Originals. It's really bad. It's their worst section of the app, and nobody uses it, and they really need to rework it. They claim people use it. I don't think anybody uses it. Nobody I know is like, oh yeah, I go on Snapchat and look at all the like garbage beneath
Right.
it. If they wanted to make that section into like TikTok, maybe that would work. I don't know. But yeah, they'd have to really rework the app. So and throw off any roadmaps they have, which Snapchat is a complete product visionary company. So for them to just ditch everything that they've planned for the next couple of years and say, oh, we're just gonna make a TikTok clone, I don't know. Maybe they'll make a separate app. I don't know. But if anybody does it, it might be Snapchat. But I think it's gonna be someone who doesn't exist right
Well,
now.
I mean, there's been plenty of warning for, basically based on the fact that TikTok may be banned. So if anything, Snap.
Well, it hasn't been plenty of warning.
Well, I
It's
mean,
been this week. People don't just build a fucking
no,
app like that.
Well, this week is the first time that an official has said it. But since TikTok started, you and I talked about it like months ago, saying that it's basically feeding all the information to the Chinese government, and then that we don't understand why it's being accepted or approved for the U.S. consumption and all that stuff. So we've been through that before. I mean, the government is the first time that they are. In fact, I remember in a press conference a long time ago that they asked President Trump, and he said, obviously he didn't know dick about TikTok, but he also said anything that threatens national security will be
Right. And
thoroughly
TikTok
researched.
also wasn't bigger than Instagram back then.
Right, exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some kind of major player right there that I was kind of playing with it or something similar, but we'll see. Anyways. All right, so switching topics, more on the e-commerce side. There's also some news from Walmart.
Oh, so if you have a lot of followers on TikTok, you better try to get them to follow you on Instagram or something. Because if it's banned and you lose, I can't imagine all these people who have built huge followings on
I
TikTok
know.
are just gonna lose
Well,
it like that.
that's the thing. That's the thing that we always say. Don't rely on one single channel. If you're an influencer or something on, I mean, God forbid, if you're an influencer on TikTok these days in the US, I'll be freaking.
Oh, they
out.
are. A lot of them are saying, follow me on Instagram, follow me all of these other places.
I know, but that's even worse. I mean, you're not driving to Instagram or whatever. Just get a fucking job where you can have more control of your own income. You know,
but
you're moving from
what are
one
you supposed to do?
from one earthquake to another, or one like quicksand to another. I mean, it's just
Yeah, but what do you want them to do?
well, they can develop their own brand, do other things, sell their own products, whatever. Be a little more
Yeah, but
independent.
you still need a following.
Yes, you need a following. Obviously, yeah, you need
Like,
a following, but don't
the-
make
the
the
one-
following your main source of revenue.
The thing I do kind of hate when people say is like, people always say, get an email list. Yes, get an email list if you can. But if you're a fucking TikToker, people are going to give you their email now? Because they say the email is the thing that doesn't go away. Sure, but what, you're gonna sign up for a TikToker's email newsletter now?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stuff like that is people who are very short-sighted and don't understand
Well, yeah,
how social
plus
works.
emails change too. I mean, email, the format doesn't change, but people do change emails, especially with Gmail. That is a free email. I mean, how many people have like different accounts and they ditch one and they start another one? When I mean, it's just
At the end of the day, people have to rely on platforms because what are the options? Okay, don't rely on Instagram. Okay, you can say the best argument I would say is platform diversification. So be
Well,
on
obviously,
many
multi-channel.
platforms.
Yeah, of course.
But really, like this idea of own your audience, that's great, and I agree. If you have an opportunity to own your audience, that's great. But the majority of people can't. Is everybody going to build their own app now? Oh, if you want to follow my content, you have to download my app. So everybody has to have 50 apps for creators or subscribe to my
but
email
I mean,
newsletter.
to me, it's very simple. You can create your own website with your own forum or
But
whatever.
is that going to work? Really? A TikToker is going to get people to go to their website now if they want to see their content.
If I'm following up,
And now every time you want to consume content, you better have 50 bookmarked websites for all the different people you
well,
want
I
to
mean,
follow.
you follow 50 people, then you fucking need a life. I mean, that's the bottom line.
What do you mean? People follow hundreds of people on all these
Yes,
platforms.
but
So
I mean, I
now
follow
you
a
gotta
lot
go
of
to
people.
individual websites.
I follow people just for entertainment, but if they disappear, I probably wouldn't even notice.
Oh my God, my point exactly.
What
You
do you
wouldn't
mean?
notice. If they stopped going on Instagram, you wouldn't notice. And,
Right.
And
But
they
I'm-
would
I'm
disappear.
talking, I'm
My
referring,
point
no,
is,
I understand, but I'm referring to influencers, people that make a living. I don't make a living out of Instagram or anything.
Okay, but
nor
people
do
who-
the people that I follow. The people that I follow are just friends or whatever. They post. If they don't post, I don't know. If they post, I may miss it. It's not affecting their lives. But if I'm an influencer and I have a million followers on TikTok and I rely on those guys because I'm endorsing my products and I get this or that or whatever, and then that income disappears because TikTok disappears, that is the problem. That's what I'm talking
Right,
about. I'm
but-
talking about people that make more of a living out of these apps by being an influencer, okay? Not the casual user like me that are
no,
influenced
that's what
nobody.
I'm talking about, the influencers too. You want all of them to build their own websites and newsletters and all of that now? That's
why
not,
not?
first of all, was a TikToker going to put in a fucking email newsletter? Okay.
No, I'm not saying email newsletter, but if
Or
I'm,
a website.
if I'm just more influencer and people follow me, it's like, okay, hey, follow me here. Most of them already do it.
most of them already try to get you to follow
Right.
on other platforms.
Right.
But this idea that you're going to get them to just go to your website, I mean, give me a
I follow
break.
people on YouTube that are videos that I like and all that stuff, and then they all have their own website, they all have their own platform.
They're not putting content on their website.
Yes, they do. They do blogs, articles, and stuff all the time. Yeah, they do. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. I mean, how many people do you and
Okay,
I
but-
follow that
but
have a
who are-
podcast? That then they have their own newsletter with subscriptions. Then they have their own thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't apply to everything. There's plenty of people that I might like as YouTubers, but if they started writing blogs, I wouldn't fucking read it.
Okay, well that's fine. That's a different application or a different person. But if a person starts putting videos or little
Or vice versa. There's people who I read articles from that then they do YouTube videos and they suck because they're not YouTubers. They're bloggers. They're great at writing. They suck on camera.
yeah, and I'm sure those guys will never do a video because of that reason, you know. But what I'm saying is that I can have the same platform if I'm an influencer, and yeah,
Okay,
I rely-
so you have 5 million followers on TikTok right now. What do you do?
if I have 5 million followers and TikTok is going to disappear, okay, well, I need to tell my followers, hey, it's no different than when I change my username or something. A lot of people have an account and then they say, hey, this is the old account, go to this new one, this is my new account. And they do that all the time. I see that all the time. And I say, I don't give a fucking about your new account. But a lot of people do that. So I wouldn't see a problem saying, Facebook, that's the same thing. Hey, this account is, I don't follow this account, follow me on this new account. How hard is that? So if TikTok disappears, it's like, hey, TikTok is disappearing. So I'm going to move over to, for now, I'm going to be putting everything on my website, which is here, and then I'll decide which platform to continue.
You're going to put everything on a website.
Well, why not?
I don't think you understand how these social apps work. You think people are going to go to a website. So you're a pretty girl who dances.
Oh, no,
okay.
that's not.
You make dance videos and you're a pretty girl and now you're going to tell people go to my website.
Well, if you make a living being a pretty girl making dance videos, okay, sorry, that's gonna last until you are 15 or 16, until you realize that that's not a way to make a living, and then you're gonna have to do something a little more serious, okay? Because that's very shallow,
Well, it's very shallow until people have 50 million followers.
Yes,
like
but
multiple people
I understand, but the followers of the pretty girl that is making, dance videos is other pretty boys that are looking at the pretty girl. You know, I mean, a 40-year-old businessman is not gonna look at the pretty girl that is doing dance videos. Okay, he shouldn't. He should look at something a little more serious.
Well, I don't know. These days, you never know.
Well, yeah, you never know. But the point is that, you know, those high schooler girls or boys or people that are doing goofy stuff and all that stuff, that's fine, you know. But if this pretty girl starts selling makeup or selling her own line of
what's the
products,
difference between a pretty girl who does dance videos and gets 20 million followers versus a model who gets 20 million
well,
followers?
no, but forget a model. I mean, if I have an influencer that is a travel influencer, okay, and the guy is traveling, or the girl, or the couple, or whatever, they travel over the world and they document their trips, their pros and cons of each destination, tips on how to get a better rate with airfares and this and that, and credit cards and points, and those are real influencers, people that actually companies pay for, that are legit influencers, okay, that they travel the world, or they do whatever, reviewing cars or doing travel logs or doing whatever. I mean, reviewing books, I don't care, concerts, whatever they do, okay? And they make a living out of that because they also get sponsorships and endorsements. There's tons of athletes that do that. There's tons of people that do like tons of gymnastics and calisthenics and things that we follow sometimes that make a living because they endorse certain products and nutrition stuff. And those guys happen to be on TikTok or whatever, or Instagram. And Instagram says, okay, for now, we're just going to do a subscription or whatever. They disappear. Those guys will say, hey, I'm no longer here, but all my content will be now appearing on this other platform or my own website.
Another
or whatever.
platform.
Or on my own website. By another platform, I mean maybe my own website. And I'm going to put all my tips and all my, which most of them already do. Because they're smart enough to
who's
know.
going to their fucking websites? When was the last time you
I
went
go.
to some travel vlogger's website?
I don't go for travel bloggers. I mean, sometimes I do, but I do for a lot of automotive stuff. I see people that have videos where they're
Are you
demoing.
consuming content, or are they saying, "Hey, I have something for sale on my website"?
No. I'm consuming content. They do a little teaser on Instagram and they say, "Hey, I reviewed this car. I did this. I blah blah blah." And then head over to my website where I explain the whole thing. And I read
Do they
the
have a
article.
video?
On the website?
Yeah.
Sometimes they have videos. Sometimes they have pictures.
Where's it hosted?
Or whatever, YouTube or whatever.
Oh, another platform.
Okay,
My
that's
point
fine.
is this idea of, don't be dependent on any platform. That's great, but that's just short-sighted, and people don't understand.
Well, don't tell that to 200 million people that just disappear on India. How short-sighted that is. Now they're short-sighted because they have
Don't
nothing.
be fully dependent. You should diversify between
Okay.
platforms.
That's what we both
But
say.
this idea, like, I agree that people should try to, if you can, get people to go to your website or sign up for your email, whatever, great. But the far majority of creators can't do that because they don't make content that applies to that.
Well, it depends on your content. It's the same thing. I mean, I used to have websites that I created just for AdSense, okay, for the banners
okay.
with Google and all that stuff. And I did it because I wanted to drive traffic to those websites. They were very niche and all that stuff. And I was putting all these
That
banners.
was 10 years ago.
No, I mean, yeah, 10 years ago when it was.
Things were way different back then.
Well, of course.
There was no Instagram. There was no TikTok.
I
Facebook was a baby.
I'm giving you the point of a lesson that I learned because I was getting income from all these things until AdSense, for no reason that I fucking know to date, they banned my account with AdSense. All of a sudden, whatever little income I was getting, it disappeared. And it's like, okay, that means that I need to make a living somewhere else. The websites were there. All of a sudden, they got the same traffic, but I had no ads or anything to display because AdSense, for whatever reason, whatever law I broke,
I'm not saying
they didn't
people
tell me.
shouldn't have platform diversification, but I'm saying this idea that you shouldn't even like try to make money off Instagram because you're gonna get screwed.
No, I never said that.
That's stupid.
I never said that. I said you shouldn't rely on one source. It's the same thing. I don't care if it's a guy on YouTube. If I find a person on YouTube that is making videos with just whatever, reviewing cars, like I do follow a few people, and traveling and testing and all that stuff, and then they're showing you all the revenue. So I made like $10,000 last month on ad revenue and endorsements and all that stuff. And then it's like, yeah, but you are one stroke away from YouTube banning your account, and then you got nothing. Unless this is just one channel that gives you this ad revenue share of
what
10,000,
other video
and then the other
platform do you go
guys,
to?
the guys are also having their own website where they document everything that is not necessarily video, just in writing, or they put, they have merchandise that they start selling, they have parts and endorsements that they use, and sponsorship from the car parts that they promote and all that stuff. I mean, you need to diversify. That's the thing. I'm not saying that being on a big influencer or vlogger or blogger or whatever on videos, on websites, on Instagram, all that stuff is great. You get 1 million users, 1 million followers. God, good for you, you know. But I'm saying, don't just say life is great, because we've known of many people that just went from hero to zero in no time, you know, just because of that. I mean, if you are an influencer in India, overnight your revenue is gone. The same thing happened with Facebook. Facebook did a long time ago when you had all these followers and all the stuff, and you were getting
what
all
I
this
would say
revenue.
is-
And then Facebook changed the algorithm, and then the news feed, the people that you follow was just 2%. It's like, okay, so Facebook said, no, you know, you need to pay to play. Okay, fine, that's a different game. I wasn't signing up for this game, you know. So, anyways, I think we both agree. We just kind of
Yeah, of course, you don't want to put all your eggs in one
Right.
basket. But also, if you have a platform that's working for you and you're growing really fast,
yeah, I'm gonna milk that cow as much as I
fucking
can.
go for it.
Yeah,
Because it's
but
really
I need
hard.
to cover. I need to cover my back too. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna ride this wave as long as I can," and then disregard everything else. No, I'm going to.
It's
Build it too
it's,
much.
It's like, you know, lightning in a bottle. It's really hard. But if all of a sudden you have the rare opportunity where you're exploding in growth on the platform, fucking go all in.
Yes.
Because you're never gonna see the odds of you seeing that same growth again are very, very, very
All right, so
low.
you and I do a lot of business, obviously. And
Now, once you start, there's a critical mass point, right? Where if you all of a sudden find yourself in the span of months, like has happened to many people on TikTok, where you go from 0 to millions of followers, and you're at the point now where you have 10 million followers on TikTok. Yeah, at that point, I would say, I should, which they all do, by the way. I should probably try to get people to follow me on Instagram and on YouTube and other places that are not just TikTok, which they all do. But believe me, they're still going hard on TikTok because TikTok is the place where everybody's growing right now, faster than anything
well, you
else.
think everybody's growing so fast on TikTok because their algorithm is promoting
Yeah,
that.
because TikTok has
Because they want to make you look like a hero.
has the best algorithm in the history of social.
Well, the best is kind of vague. I think is the one that is the more dopamine pleasing
I
algorithm.
think TikTok
I
is
mean,
the
I
most-
post things that I have no interest.
I think TikTok is the most meritocratic algorithm
Really?
ever. Yes.
I think it's the one that is trying to give everybody, for no reason, tons of views and all
No,
that
not
stuff.
for no reason. For good reason. They're the most meritocratic.
I think when you have
because,
a- I
because
mean-
no. Listen. This is why. Because if you're on YouTube or Instagram right now and you have 0 followers, go try to get even 10,000 followers from scratch. It's really fucking hard.
I know.
You can post one
'Cause you
TikTok
have
and
to-
tomorrow get 100,000. Why? Because if you make good content, the algorithm rewards good content, not the history of the creator. That's the difference.
No, I understand.
Instagram and YouTube
But
and
also
all
it
these
is well
care
known-
about the history of the creator.
Yes, but it's also well documented that TikTok, when you have a new account, they're gonna promote your stuff and give you.
Yeah, but you're still not gonna get 1 million followers if your stuff sucks. It's not gonna happen. You're only gonna get it if you post good stuff. But they give the opportunity to newcomers.
Well,
and the
define
people,
good content, because all these people that I see, is it goofball content? Is it just dancing in your house? Is it just doing a handstand? I mean, I don't know what the good content
the
is.
content is subjective.
Because
okay?
I'm seeing or I'm served
Okay, but
videos.
you're a man in your 50s, so what you
They don't
like is
know.
different than people who are younger, okay? So it's subjective. You watch, like you just said, car videos. I don't give a damn about car videos. I don't watch any car videos.
You can't even drive shift.
Okay, so like it's just different, but that's okay. That's the beauty of the internet, is that there's content for
my
everybody.
rant is that I put great content. I only got 2 followers.
Exactly.
That's
You're
my-
upset because no one wants to watch your old man videos. Okay, that's why.
I'm not even on the video. I'm putting my greatest stuff. Anyways, no, it's good. But I mean, I wanted to say,
the reason-
the solution to this, or the
Solution
the
is
moral
this:
of
is
the
if you
story.
have a TikTok clone, let me know. I will help you fund it because I want equity.
No, but seriously, don't put all your revenue coming from one source. That applies to
Yeah, of
everything in
course.
life.
Of
Okay,
course.
everything in life.
But also, I love
I don't
these
care if
people.
you
I
even
love
work for the
how-
government. Okay, the government may cut off your revenue like
I
overnight.
love these people on Twitter who are like, everybody should have an email newsletter. I'm like, no, not everybody should have an email newsletter, okay? Because just because I watch somebody dance on TikTok doesn't mean I want to hear their fucking thoughts, okay?
Okay.
Just shut up and dance.
That's the title of the show. Just sort of this. No, it's not a show like that.
I don't know, probably.
There was one that was just shut up on something. All right. So before we get into your rant, this, by the way, was not the
This
rant
is
of
not
the
the
week.
rant. Maybe this should be the rant. Maybe I'll see my rant for next
We
week.
actually have a segment called the rant of the week that starts this week, but this was not part of it. So this is just an improvised rant that we just did. But let's get serious now with our ranting. Walmart just implemented or started their Prime version of membership. So that is less than Amazon at this point. So what are the details? You know more of the details of that.
It's basically the same as Amazon Prime. It's just $98 a year instead of $120.
Well, except that they don't have videos like Amazon. You can watch videos.
No, they own Vudu. So
They own what?
Vudu, VUDU.
Okay.
They acquired them a couple years ago.
Where's that?
Same shit. It's like a bunch of random crap on there, and
Okay.
you can watch stuff. They'll throw in these like, oh, music, oh, video, oh. Do people use Amazon Music? Does anybody use that?
I used to. Now not anymore.
No.
Since I started with Spotify, Amazon Music used to be my main source before it was Apple Music, which I actually pay still a fee every year for my collection to sync up with whatever my old CDs. And then after that, I went to Amazon Music, and then after that, I went to Spotify, and now I only
Yeah,
use Spotify.
Spotify is just
Yeah.
way better. But anyways, it's you have Amazon Music too. I don't think anybody uses it.
No, but
it's thrown
Amazon,
in there.
like we were talking the other day, you have different advantages with Prime. Not only the shipping that is the obvious one, but you have quite a bit of videos.
Yeah, the main thing is Prime Video and then the free shipping, free 2-day, 1-day shipping. So basically, Walmart does the same thing.
And Twitch.
Yeah, and Twitch if you use that.
So Walmart is
$98 a year, free unlimited shipping, 2-day shipping, all of that. The one key differentiator that Walmart has is on the grocery side. They offer free grocery delivery as well. But the difference is that Walmart has Walmarts everywhere and has the distribution to provide the grocery delivery that Amazon does not. The biggest
Amazon has Fresh Foods, right? Whole Foods. Which one is
yeah,
it?
but Whole Foods is not 98% of the population does not buy from Whole Foods, okay? Even I, who buy a lot of health food, when I go and look at Whole Foods prices, they're fucking insane, okay?
They still, I thought they lowered the prices quite a bit.
No, not really. In fact, very, very little. Ever since
Of
Amazon
course,
bought them.
that's amazing knowing that Amazon is known for low prices and they.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily that Whole Foods has the ability to. It's just that if you have foods, the main thing that makes something healthier versus not these days is that healthy foods can't be as mass produced
Right.
as
They're more-
unhealthy foods, basically, because they
Right.
need to be non-processed. And the reason you add all these artificial shit and factory farming and all that stuff is because it's more efficient and cheaper, but if it also makes the things less healthy. So if you want to make them less healthy, it's less efficient, therefore more costly. So it's just the cost of, it's not that Whole Foods has some massive markup compared to other grocery
Right,
stores.
right.
It's just the cost of goods is higher.
It's for a different audience, obviously, that wants to pay more.
So
for
my
the extra
point
health.
is that the Whole Foods thing is great, but it's not that, like I said, the far majority of Americans do not buy from Whole Foods. It's just too expensive. The far majority of Americans do buy from Walmart, and Walmart has the grocery distribution. So that is the interesting kind of thing here. That's the differentiator.
I'm assuming that only applies to locations where there's a Walmart near you.
Yeah, but who doesn't have a Walmart?
No,
near them?
I don't know. Obviously there's a Walmart in every town. I'm looking at other places, but I don't know if there's a
In
Walmart.
America, I don't think you can go, 2 miles without seeing a Walmart. Honestly, there's Walmarts everywhere. So my point is that that's the interesting part on the grocery side. Now, are people going to go on top of their Amazon Prime subscription, pay another $100 a year for Walmart? I don't know. I don't think so. So that means then, are people going to cancel their Prime subscription to subscribe to Walmart? I don't know. Now,
if you're a Walmart shopper, it may
well,
make.
here's the thing. I actually think there's less overlap than people think between Walmart shoppers and Amazon shoppers.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, the truth is, if you look at one of the reasons why Amazon is such a valuable company is that a lot of the people who buy on Amazon are more affluent. And so it's going down now as they get bigger, the median income of an Amazon buyer. But the median income of Amazon customers is much higher than Walmart customers.
Yes.
So,
and also, I think the
and that's true for each e-commerce.
the
in
tech
general.
level of the Amazon shopper is usually higher. I wonder if I don't want to stereotype, but I wonder if the typical Walmart shopper has the same technology and ability to say, oh, I'm going to go to my laptop now and go to my shopping cart and do all that stuff, you know?
I don't think that's the barrier. I think it's cost. Everybody has a phone in America. I mean, there's nobody who
Yes,
doesn't
I
have
know,
a
but I
smartphone.
think Amazon has mastered the frictionless shopping,
Yeah,
so that
but
any
Walmart will-
monkey can do a purchase
Yeah,
online
but I'm
with
sure
one
Walmart
click buy and
is
all that
gonna do
stuff.
that too.
They will. They will have to, because
So-
I think the Amazon shopper in general is a different demographic that may not be so tech savvy, or in general, or maybe I would even say that
I
they-
don't think it's tech savvy. I just think
I
it's
think the
cost.
age group might be a little older too, maybe more traditional.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I will be actually. I may do some research on that to see
I
what's
mean,
the
old
average.
people, older people, older generations obviously shop at Walmart too, but plenty of young people. I think it's just more of a cost thing. I just think people who
Okay.
go to Walmart.
All I know
are-
is that
people go to Walmart because they want to save money. It's that simple.
well, yeah,
So,
but that's when they go to the store. Online, I've been online at Walmart many times. In fact, we done accounts for clients, and I just didn't find the shopping experience so
no,
it's
because their
seamless.
e-commerce platform is not nearly as built out as
Right,
Amazon.
that's my point.
They're newer to the game, basically.
Right.
Um,
You okay?
yeah, hiccups. Sorry.
So I told you to stop drinking.
But they'll get there. Yeah, I wonder. I would love to know how much overlap there is between Amazon Prime subscribers and people who buy from Walmart, shop at Walmart frequently. There's obviously overlap, but I don't think there's as much as people think. And then second, see, but then I don't know. I mean, half of U.S. households have Amazon Prime.
But the other thing, I mean, I don't
So
think it's
I
such
don't
a big dilemma, because if I shop at Walmart once a month,
Yeah, but if you were to
let me finish.
subscribe
If
to-
if I subscribe for $90 a year now,
98. It's basically $100.
$100 a year.
It's basically 120 and 100.
Right. But
But
so basically, what I'm saying is that if I even shop only once a year at Walmart, and I go to the store and do this or buy whatever, and I can do that online with free shipping, and the free shipping is going to cost me, if I order one or two things, and I basically the cost of my subscription per month is less than $10, basically it's like $8 a month, and I order one thing a month that I'm gonna get free shipping, which probably would be about that price. Yeah, it's not gonna be a
but the Walmart shopper, what Walmart's advantage is, Walmart doesn't have a great shopping experience. They don't have brand.
Well, I know.
They only compete on pricing,
Mm-hmm.
basically. That's what they compete on. So people who shop at Walmart are very cost conscious.
Yeah,
So are they going to
price.
be running out to get $100 a year subscription now?
if they had long-term vision and they say, okay, well, I buy at least at Walmart because of the pricing or whatever reason 10, 12 times a year. So if it saves me the trip and I get free shipping, that's basically the way I do the math, you know, because it's the same thing when we start with Amazon Prime. You say, oh, I'm going to pay $75. Now it's up to $120. And then, you know, you order back in the days, it was one thing every now and then. Now it's like the freaking Amazon truck is coming every day because it's so convenient. I just order, I need more this, I need more power bars, I need
Right.
more shakes, more. It's just one click away. They just basically guide you into that shopping experience that is so easy for whatever, you know. So to me, the 120, I mean, when you start looking at shipping prices, if somebody doesn't offer me free shipping, I don't even look at those guys.
You just said it. Shipping prices. People who shop at Walmart already don't pay shipping. They buy in the store. So
yeah,
now
but
are they gonna...
yeah, but you have to go to the store. Yeah, they're paying for shipping by themselves, putting their time, gas, and everything to just go to the store.
You know, I don't think people equate that. I don't think people value that.
Well, that's people's problem because time is
Okay,
money
but-
and gas
but
is money and all that stuff
I know,
is
but
money.
I don't think people apply that.
Okay.
Honestly, because I know a lot of people who will say, like, I don't do this, but a lot of people say, oh, just go to this store that's like 3-4 miles away because this thing is like $3 cheaper.
Well, I know people that go.
For me personally,
I know.
I'll just pay the extra $3 and I don't want to drive 4 miles that way.
I know.
But a lot of people do that. And
I've-
especially cost-conscious people. So I don't know.
There's known people that go to another town that has a lower sales tax just to get fuel, and they spend more time just getting there.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who decide to get Walmart and Amazon Prime because if you already have Amazon Prime, for the $100 a year extra that it's going to cost you, I don't know that Walmart is really giving you much that you can't already get on Amazon. So the big question is, are people going to, there's two, are people who do not have Amazon Prime now going to subscribe to Walmart, right? The people who haven't done it yet.
I think.
Or are people who have Amazon Prime going to cancel Prime
No.
and get Walmart?
I don't think they're cancel
that's
Prime
why,
because Prime has many other benefits. So
Yes,
it's,
exactly.
I think it's going to be more addition
Okay.
to another one than subtraction.
So then is this going to fail? I mean,
Well,
that's the
not
question.
necessarily, because I mean, you see many times when you're gonna, like, let's say you go to Amazon, you don't find something, you go to Walmart, you find it there, and then when you're checking out, they say, hey, you can pay now $6 in shipping, or sign up to Prime for $90 or $99, and then you get free shipping for an entire year plus all these other benefits. It's no different than when they tell you, if Amazon does that too with the credit card stuff. They say you could pay $250, or you could pay only $50 if you sign up with a credit card. And then you start thinking, oh, maybe I'll just get the Amazon credit card and pay only $50. It's the same deal. You kind of see that discount, and they give you these incentives. Obviously, Walmart did the homework, I'm assuming, and then we'll see how it goes. But I think there's room for both. I mean, Walmart and Amazon have been competing online forever. You know, obviously Amazon is way ahead, but Amazon is starting to, which is leading to a rant, starting to piss off a lot of their sellers too. And who knows? And Amazon and Walmart now is opening they have the partnership with Shopify and all the stuff. So they are going in that direction to fight with Amazon. That was the topic of our 2 weeks ago podcast, saying, can Walmart and Shopify defeat Amazon? So they're all doing what they can to not only match, but also have partnerships that will make people think, okay, there's other options now. It's not the Amazon monopoly where it's like, okay, I have this, I have that. Now I have other options. So who knows? Maybe it'll work. So time will tell. But I'm happy. I'm happy. More competition is always good.
No, I'm not against competition. I
Right.
just wonder, like I said, okay, we both agree. I don't think people are going to be canceling Prime to use this.
No, I don't think so.
So,
either.
but we also don't think people are going to be paying for both.
No, I think
So
people.
then
I think people
who's
will cancel
subscribing?
Prime when they realize that, oh, I'm not using Amazon as much as I used to.
I really don't think people are going to cancel Prime.
Well, I think they may.
I actually
when,
think Prime is undervalued. If they
but
raise
it's
it
the
to
same.
150
Okay,
tomorrow,
I'll give you another.
I don't think people
I'll
would
give you another
cancel.
comparison or analogy with like Prime or premium channels. Okay, on television. I subscribe to HBO and this and that and Showtime or something. And I used to watch a lot of things on HBO, movies on nights, stuff. Now it's like, okay, I only watch
Yeah, but
Succession.
How
Okay,
much
I
do
only
you
watch
shop on
one show.
Amazon?
On Amazon?
Yeah,
All the
imagine if every
all the
time you had to
time.
buy something now, you had to pay for shipping.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
No, obviously I have Prime.
Okay, but
Right.
if you cancel it, you don't have free shipping
No. I'm
anymore.
saying if I stop shopping on Amazon for whatever reason, either.
That's a big fucking.
Well, no, it's
stretch.
like I said, I was making the comparison with premium channels. I used to watch HBO all the time. Okay, they have movies, they have recent movies, good shows, things that I couldn't see on TV. They have things that were a little more extreme than the broadcast channels, whether it's uncut, uncensored movies, whether it's for language or nudity or this or that. It just basically
Yeah, but
go.
I don't think that's a good comparison because
Well,
that's a totally
but
different
you pay
business.
the extra
That's
$8 a month. Let me finish for that stuff. Now the point is that I don't watch HBO much now. Actually, I don't watch it at all.
that's a hit-
And I'm thinking, why am I paying for this? I don't need it anymore.
But that's a totally different business.
Of course, it's a different business, but the
It's a
thing
hits
is,
business. Okay,
it's a subscription
'Cause
business.
The difference is that a show that has value, basically today, as soon as it's over, it's worthless, and people need new shows.
well, yeah.
But Amazon, it's just
It's like
not a good
people
comparison.
canceling Netflix when Game of Thrones
That's like
or whatever.
Like
went.
what? All of a sudden, Amazon's just gonna have half their products disappear off of
No,
it.
but
No.
they could. I mean, they've increased the price of Prime a few times. Started with $60, now
Yeah,
it's $120.
they could go to 150 and nobody would unsubscribe.
No, some people will say, you know what? I order one thing a month, and now I'm paying in effect.
Amazon Prime subscribers don't order one thing a month. That's the whole thing. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, I
Amazon's
know.
Prime subscribers buy like triple the amount of regular people.
Yes,
of
they
non-Prime.
do. That's why they do it. That's why they actually lose money with that because they know they get more sales. So, anyways, let me transfer to or switch over to the rant of the week, our new segment, which, not surprisingly, is related this week to Amazon customer service. So, David, take it away.
No, no, Amazon sucks. As far as the seller side, oh my god, they're just the
All right. Well,
worst.
we were just talking about Amazon Prime. This is actually
Yeah, I mean, on the
the
consumer side,
on the
Amazon's
business
great.
side.
They have a complete monopoly, good business.
This is more on the business.
Props to Bezos, but Bezos, for the love of God, they've been saying for fucking 3 years, we're really focused on the sellers. We've gotten your feedback. We hear you loud and clear. We're gonna make the support. It's fucking getting worse. Okay, it's not getting better. They suck. Anybody who's an Amazon seller knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like nothing just
All right,
works.
give us some specifics. The rent is
Well, I'll
about-
give you an example. I can give you a million examples. I can
No, I
give
don't have
you-
time for a million. Just a couple. Maybe.
Okay, but it's like nothing works. Like anybody who's ever sold on Amazon and you need to make a change or do some minor update, nothing crazy. Just I need to add, like this week, for example, we have one client who sells a food product and we need to add, they're launching 2 new flavors. So I needed to add the 2 new flavors as variations of the parent listing, okay? There's like a whole issue where they have a new compliance section in the product listing area, and we'd never filled it out because this is before they had that compliance section. And now they are asking for like the volume of the packages. So we went in and tried to add in the volume of the packages. Didn't work. Wouldn't let us save, basically. We tried a bunch of different units, grams, ounces. Oh, doesn't work. Doesn't let us save. Have to go to support. Oh, person on the phone can't help you. Make a case. Okay, make a case. What's the problem? I just told you the fucking problem. Let me write the whole problem again. It's like they're so worthless. And then they just say, oh, just delete the listing and then re-upload it. That's your solution? What the fuck?
User error. Just
Oh,
do it
no.
again.
First they said, well, try saving. That's why I'm fucking contacting you, because it won't let me fucking save, okay? That's the fucking whole goddamn reason I'm contacting you.
Okay. Just keep your
To
rant
do
a
a
little
basic
more PG
thing.
level. I know.
Then there's another client who, this happens all the time. Amazon does not verify UPC codes or GTINs or anything. If anybody who knows, you have to register, you have to go through this company called GS1, and they're basically the global trade identification number, or UPC, Universal Product Code. They basically are the global, they have a monopoly too. They are the global supplier of this, but Amazon doesn't verify. So what people will do, because they're cheap and they don't want to spend the whatever $100-something bucks, it's like, it depends on how many you have, but it could be like a few $100 a year to get these UPCs. People don't want to spend that. So they just go online and find basically resellers, and what these resellers do is they just go and see, okay, here's all the UPC, because it's all public, right? You can go to GS1's database and which ones are not being used on Amazon, and then they just steal UPCs that are not being used on Amazon and give them to people. Okay, well, that happens all the time, and we deal with this all the time, where basically we go to add a new product with a UPC that we own, but then for one of our clients, but then someone's already using it. So then you have to contact support and basically have them say, hey, this is my UPC. I own it. This person's using it. They call it a hijacked UPC. Give it to us and delete that shit. And most of the time they do it. And then this week, they tell us, first they go, please send us the verification documents that you own this UPC. Okay, here you go. Here's the documents. It's a PDF. Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, once a UPC is attached to a listing, there's nothing we can do about it. It cannot be changed, so sorry. That's basically what they said. And I just replied, I was like, that's not true.
First of all, it's not true. Secondly, if that's the case...
I've done this 500 times.
Right, but if that's the case, why do they even ask you for the ownership proof?
I know, exactly.
It's like-
So I told them, I said, this is not true. Put me in contact with somebody who can fix this, because I've fixed this before. I've had this same exact issue many, many times. Happens all the time. And then they reply again, okay, you're right. After looking further into the issue, we can. Please send us the documents proving you. I'm like, I just fucking sent it to you but this is this week. Next week it'll be something else. The week before it was something. It's always like, you can't do anything. And then the problem is, so I fixed on the other one, on the variations one, I was able to fix it, because the problem is that Amazon has so many errors and glitches in their system, because they built the whole Seller Central and Vendor Central, and all of this was built like in 2005 or 6 or something. And they basically they really need to just start from
They've been
scratch.
patching it too long.
But
Yeah,
it's just
they have
too
many
late.
issues.
So they
Right.
just build a legacy system on top of legacy system on top of legacy system.
They're being outgrown by the number of sellers.
So
And,
what I end up doing a lot of the times, because the problem, I try to delegate this stuff because I'm so tired of dealing with Amazon. I don't want to deal with it anymore. But unfortunately, because I've been working on it for years and more than anybody else on our team, I'm the one who ends up having to do all the troubleshooting and figure shit out. And a lot of time, like what I ended up doing with the variations thing was I just bypassed the new system altogether because there's this old system that was launched like 10 years ago that they're trying to phase out called Variation Wizard. And so I used that. And basically, this is the old system where you used to have to do everything by uploading Excel sheets and everything. And we still do that if if you have to upload 50 products, do an Excel sheet. If you only have to do like 1 or 2, it's easier to just use their system.
Manually, yeah.
So I used the Variation Wizard, and with a lot of back and forth troubleshooting and messing with different fields in the Excel sheet, I was actually able to get it to upload and to work and got it fixed. But basically, their support was completely useless, and I had to mess around with the system.
Right.
And the troubling thing for me is like I know much more. I always think of
That happens to be a lot of times.
You ever
yeah.
see the meme where from Parks and Rec, where Ron Swanson is going to, you can relate to this. He goes to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and some associate comes up and says, "Hi, sir, how you doing today? How can I help you?" And he goes, "I know more than you."
yeah, I know.
And just walks past.
Well, that
them.
happens to me all the time.
I knew you would relate. And that's basically how I feel with these seller central.
No, I do the
people.
opposite. I go, especially when you mention hardware stores, like I go to Home Depot doesn't even get to me as far as, they don't have enough people. But when you go to the smaller hardware store, like an Ace Hardware or something like the local one, I go there and then you have the little intern there or whatever asking you what you want. And then sometimes I say, I know exactly what I want and what things are more than you do. But sometimes I actually tell them, yes, I'm looking for a 9/16 metric system combination, this, that, and they're like, you see their face kind of like going, this is, okay, I'll find it. Like you give me this baloney search that you're doing and they actually think the part exists when they you just made it up. And then they say, okay, well, I think I know what it is. I'll just do it myself. But no, that happens a lot of times. It happens to me a lot with on the search engine and the campaign marketing side.
I was going to say the other one who does that. If anybody's ever run Facebook ads, I'm sure you've been reached out to by the Facebook ads support people or whatever you call them. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever been on the phone with those people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're like interns who got hired and they're like, well, have you tried using look-alike audiences? What? Yeah, of course I fucking use lookalike audiences. What are you talking? Like, so shit like that, man. Anyways, point is,
I don't want the rant to become the main podcast, but
the point is, on Amazon, if you're a seller, their support is terrible. But there's always, I've found, because I've been dealing with Amazon for years now, I know their system by the back of my hand better than any of their support people do. There's always a way around it. You just have to find it. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's always a way around, especially because they have so many legacy systems that there's always a way around it. You just have to try a million things and hope something works.
Yeah.
Basically.
And
but you're not alone. Oh, and the thing that made me feel better actually is I was talking with someone from Amazon recently, and this person was an actual rep from Amazon, and they said, well, believe it or not, because I asked them, I said, what do you guys do with big companies? Right? Like I said, when you have like a major company, what do you do? And they told me, you know what they told me? They said, because, we talked about this, I don't know, when did that happen? When did Nike leave Amazon? That was like 6 months ago or something? Yeah,
wasn't that they have a dedicated rep or something?
Okay, so here's the thing. I was like, what do big companies do, right? What do these multi-billion-dollar corporations do when they're selling Amazon? And the person said, same thing. They said they have dedicated reps, but they said the reps can't do anything. They said the reps are just there to basically be a direct contact.
Right.
But they said the reps have no control either. And so they were like, one of the reasons Nike got upset wasn't just the counterfeit stuff. They said that this person was...
They couldn't deal with the issues.
This person said that they would have Nike's reps contacting them saying, I need your help. I can't figure this out. Like, this is Nike. Okay.
Well,
who sells
that was my point.
Millions and millions of merchandise.
Okay, I want to wrap it up, but that was my point before when I said were talking Walmart versus Amazon. Amazon is upsetting all their sellers to the point that the major brands are leaving for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, but Nike's not going to Walmart.
Well, I understand, but they're upsetting multi-million-dollar a year sellers that are not the name brand recognition of a Nike or whatever, but just because of those reasons, they're saying
yes.
And that's everything is kind of piling up towards Amazon just becoming like people need another alternative. And if Walmart
we need another
slash
alternative,
Shopify get
but-
it together,
But Amazon's not going anywhere. As much
no,
as
it's
I
not
might
going
have
to go
my
anywhere.
gripes,
Amazon's
they're not
smart
going
enough to
anywhere.
fix it, but at the same time, you're becoming too big to fail type thing.
Yeah, of course.
And
That's
and,
exactly what it
and
is.
too big to
Too big to care about the small guy.
and
is
too
what
big
they are.
and too big to allow fuck ups that don't affect your life, and that's just not.
Because ultimately the
Because
problem
the famous
with Amazon.
the famous Bezos thing that he always says is like I'll go to the company every morning as if somebody's going to take to steal my business
I
the day
think
after.
Bezos is checked out. That's my theory. I think Bezos is checked out. He says, "Listen, I built $1 trillion company. My job here is done. I'm gonna go build fucking rockets and live in my $150 million mansion. You guys can have fun." I think he's checked out.
His job security is definitely.
I think he's leaving.
Not worried. So,
But, anyways, my point is, that, the problem with Amazon is that they, like I said, it ultimately it's the same software, same system for everybody, whether you're fucking Nike
Sure.
or Joe Schmo. So Nike has the same problems. The only thing is that they have someone who they have a direct phone number to, and you don't. That's the only difference.
Okay.
But they deal with the same shit. So hopefully that makes you feel better if you have problems with Amazon. And if you want to hire us, we'll deal with the shit for you.
you can tell he's very enthusiastic about dealing with your
Yeah.
problems too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, David. This rant, we're gonna have to put a cap on the rants too. Okay, I'm gonna have a shot clock for you because when you rant, man, that's like a
Rant
never
all
ending.
day.
My
You want-
rants will be shorter. I'm just
you
gonna
wanna
say
know-
fuck this and that and whatever. But yours are definitely long. So I'm gonna put a shot clock so you have a limit because this is not like free time. We have advertisers to respond to and all that stuff. So, anyways, guys, thank you for following us today. If you got to the end of the podcast, kudos to you. Congratulations. If you fast forwarded, that's fine too. We don't care. Follow us on any platform you prefer, whether it's on Apple Podcast or Google Play or anything. And we will be back here next
Google
week.
Play. How many people do you think listen on
I don't
Google
even know.
Play?
I know.
It's like that. I think of all the platforms, I think nobody listens to podcasts on Google Play.
I think even Apple Podcast should disappear and just have Spotify.
No, I don't like Spotify for podcasts.
You don't?
Honestly.
I like it
Ah.
because I can connect it with.
Maybe it'll grow on me, but I've tried it. I don't like it.
Really, I do
Yeah.
like
The
it.
best app for me is Overcast, which
I
is
never use Overcast, so I
It's the
can.
best for me.
Yeah.
There's other ones. People like. There's one called Castro. A lot of people like. I never used it, but
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Spotify will probably win in the end. So
Well, Spotify is the one that is betting big time
yeah,
into
I just think that they
audio.
need to. I don't know what it is. I just. It's not that it's bad. It's just nothing special. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's better than Apple. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of MG Unplugged. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.